We are back for another Staches Glasses Podcast. Welcome, everybody. This week, we're going to talk about a couple of things. A weekend full of sports. Women's college basketball, men's college basketball. We'll even talk about some WrestleMania 40. We got Justin Waters, Jay Watts back to talk about hoops, and Tabithanos is here to talk about WrestleMania 40. She and I watched it all weekend. She sat with me to watch college basketball, which is something I've slowly but surely convinced her is a great thing to do. Watch hoops. Yes, it's working. So it's a weekend full of just things that make us happy as sports fans and grown men soap opera fans, pro wrestling. I'm excited. Let's get excited. All right. Theme song. Run it. All right. We're here with Justin Waters, Jay Watts. I'm coming off an entire weekend of sports that was damn near overwhelming, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. We had the men's NCAA Final Four. We had the women's NCAA Championship. We had WrestleMania that was going on in a way that was just like Saturday was okay. And then Sunday was just like right in the face. I loved it. It was all good. But I really want to get your take, man. Like, weekend full of hoops. That was wonderful. And we had NBA games. Mind you, I'll be fully honest. Didn't watch a ton of NBA, but I did see Luka drop Dylan Brooks. And that was poetry in motion to me. Because I can't
slow-mo, kept rewinding.
Oh, yeah. I was like, 15 seconds back, 15 seconds back, 15 seconds back. It was wonderful. But we had, a bunch of NCAA hoops played this weekend. And I was just in awe of everything, man. I was so happy. How did you enjoy the weekend?
It really showed me that I'm a college fake watch. Like when we get down to the Final Four and the championship, I was there. I was watching almost every game as far as the girls' game. I didn't get to. Actually, I'm lying. I saw the Ohio game, Iowa game, and then got to see the championship again today, like almost front to back, and watch some of the men's game and tried to watch my Lakers sneak into the 8th spot. I mean, we're on a roll. Sucks that we're 9 games ahead in the West. Anyways, I digress. But it was. Like, we were captivated. My wife was watching. Like, it was what was on in the
house.
Got
the wifey to join in with you.
Yeah, she hopped on too, and she's like, especially today, she's like, I want Caitlin to win. She was like Caitlin fan, everybody. And it was fun. It was a lot going on this weekend, actually.
Yeah, you had kids' birthdays and sporting events, just like we all do as working adults.
Smoking kids in the K1 racing, Trying to do my thing.
That's fun. That's fun.
But I didn't win at all. But I beat my son. I got third.
Well, you gotta keep them humble, right? You gotta be hey, you can't beat dad yet.
I mean, I wanted to, but his girlfriend got first, so she beat everybody in the 2 races.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last time I did K1 racing, one of my buddies spun out and came to a standstill, and I went straight into his front end. I went straight into his front end and didn't hit the brake. Yeah, my neck and back were hurting.
Yeah. That
was bad.
Our little group had got flagged twice because these kids, they're not little, they're teenagers, running into stuff. And the guy's like, dude, we told you don't bump. And I was like, thank God. Last thing on my mind was, if one of these kids nails me and my L3 that's already under construction.
My bulging discs.
Dude, I got
man.
Yeah, I got a thin little hairline crack through there since I was in my 20s. It's still there. I don't need a kid making that. We don't need it to make it a whole road.
Yeah, dude. I ain't trying to be on a stretcher for a week, maybe a week and a half, because my old ass is trying to do some athletic shit.
Yeah, pre-race was like you're sitting in this little car, and then they're like, they're at 1 of 11 laps. Cool, I get to sit here for another 15 minutes. Cars aren't made for our size, but I digress.
No, they're not. We are 6'2" plus.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, and this has been this has kind of been the sense all NCAA tournament March Madness. Like the women's game has completely overshadowed the men's game, which is not something you hear routinely in sports ever.
Yeah.
Like, everything's all about the men's game and like what are the men doing? Like what, what's UConn men's team? What's UNC doing? Like it's always that. But this year is different. This year we've got Iowa coming in and doing big things. You got South Carolina. You got women's UConn team doing big things. And the biggest story of the tourney is Caitlin Clark. CC Buckets, as I like to call her.
Dude.
I finally got to sit down and watch this young woman play ball. My God, the hype is real.
It's impressive.
It's really is, man. She's like everybody else is here. She's right here. She is pulling up from 25, 30 feet, and she's not like flinging it like, oh man, I need to fling it because it's so far away. No, she's pulling up, fucking perfect form. It's incredible to watch, and she's hitting them. She's hitting them.
Yo, and she could pass. So like
she's a great ball handler, and she's got great court.
I've seen so many passes the last two games in the Final Four, and you're like, I mean, some of her teammates was just they would muff a couple of them. Smoke a couple layups, and you're like, ooh, they had so much little margin for error that they needed every bucket, and some of them didn't go today. But her skill and her ability to be able to drop a pass like that is also. It's going to translate. Like, how do you guard somebody who can shoot and then who can create and actually pass the ball, not just create for themselves? Like,
yeah. And, and you're right that like a lot of her teammates couldn't handle the heat coming to them when she passed them the ball. It was incredible to watch. Like there were so many, like, if I was a coach, I'd be like, you owe me push-ups because you blew that layup.
Yeah.
And, there was nothing on Caitlin Clark's and that was really bad about what she was doing. I mean, she had a few turnovers. She wasn't taking care of the ball really well in the championship game. And she got picked a few times just because, she's like, defender's right here and she's dribbling with the left hand. She like throw it to the left hand one time. What are you doing? Like, that's fundamentally the wrong thing to do. But regardless of that, she's still able to control the offense really well. And the thing I liked about Iowa's offense, and both offenses, in fact, they moved the ball really well. Iowa early on got out to a good lead simply because they were moving the ball in a way that would move the defense and get them off pace. Yeah. And, there were at least 4 or 5 passes to where in one sequence to where like the defense was just shifted so far off that you had a spot up shooter that had all day to get it off. And that's the kind of basketball that I could really appreciate. Like a lot of this 4-and-1 or like 5 around the arc bullshit that a lot of teams do nowadays. Like I can't like just, pass it around and then let some dude cook. Like, no, man, like let me have an offense that moves the ball in a way that the defense breaks down. And that's what both these teams were doing, especially Iowa early on.
Yeah. SC's big too. SC's big.
Oh, dude.
They were really big. Dude. So that was another difficult. I mean, I can understand smoking a couple because they were big. But there's also some times where you're like, don't wait for them to set up. Flick, a little teardrop, a little floater. Sometimes Iowa seems like, because they ran really good offense, and it's like they have to run that offense to a T good like that because they don't necessarily have like that individual, besides Caitlin, talent to just kind of go create. There was a couple, I forgot her name, the blonde girl with the ponytail. Dude, she was she hustled so crazy. And she had a couple little plays where she actually did a turnaround jumper, and even Taurasi and Bird were like, oh, okay, I haven't seen that from her. So, I like that. I like that foundation of an offense where it's like, hey, we're going to pass the ball, we're going to move the ball and make buckets, but then you also have to have a little splash to the ad lib. Besides, obviously, Caitlin kind of has to do all that ad libbing, and that gets to you after 40 minutes of everybody's eyeballs are here. couple of your guys, they miss a layup. That starts to get like she's starting to feel the pressure. And that was the other thing is like the last year, 2 years has been so much pressure, and she always shows up. And that part alone is like, incredible.
Yeah.
I play on Sundays. I still critique myself like that. And it's like, dude, this is just a stupid league so you could run and you could be in shape. And I couldn't even imagine having, millions of people like critique everything that you do and every step you take. And she's handled it like, man, like a G.
Like a G, straight gangster. So I was getting really frustrated with Hannah Stolke, the center 45. For Iowa. Yeah, she had a few drops down by the basket, and she blew a couple of layups to where I was just like, those are the push-ups. That's your push-up. Those are your laps.
I like her too. She had a great game against UConn. She did. I think she had 20 plus, and I think too she might have been a little intimidated because those girls on the other side, Cordoza, she's just
Camila Cordoza. Jeez, she's 6'7". Like I call her Big Red because she had big red hair. Like
I saw her whip somebody one time on a turnaround. She had a turnaround. She whipped it. I was like, that's right.
Yeah, dude.
Got it. Use it.
Get it, girl. Like that was awesome to watch. She's probably going to be a top 4 pick in the WNBA draft. This and I'll be honest, I don't even know when the WNBA draft takes place. I think it's
soon. They have to declare 2 days after their last college game.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't understand the women's rules. Like, I don't know. You got to be there till 22. And I get it. You change the age and you're afraid of the flood of everybody thinking that they're good enough. But like, okay, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, they're going to have to learn the hard way that they're not, and you go down. But it's like a thin line of how do you build the woman? Somebody like Juju is, dude, she can go overseas right now and get paid. And she doesn't need to play college ball. I mean, thank goodness the NIL is there. If the NIL didn't ever go through, she'd definitely be ghost. But she could play in the W. I mean, maybe next year she could go now. I think
she's also top 4.
Yeah. I mean, but she can't. But Juju's not eligible till she's 22. So like, she's a freshman at SC now. So how do you capitalize off that kind of a talent where they don't have to stay the 4 years? Because it seems like college, I mean, dude, 12 million views that they got. They were breaking all kind of records in the Final Four. Like, obviously you want those eyeballs are going to translate to the next level with Caitlin, with Reese, with all these girls moving over. But like, how do you really? I mean, how do you capitalize off of the best talent in college basketball for women? I don't know.
It depends on which perspective. I guess that depends on which perspective you're talking about. Like if you're talking about from the school's perspective, SC is going to be able to take full advantage of Juju Watkins for the next 3 years.
Oh yeah. And which will impact them recruiting for the next however many years,
Yeah. There's definitely a trickle down effect with that.
Yeah.
So I just looked it up. Watkins is most likely going to be available for the 2027 NBA draft.
27. Can you believe that?
Awesome. Yeah.
She's going to be in college, but she's going to be, dude, eventually she's going to have a mixtape by the time she's a junior. Senior is going to be like the AM1 mixtape for her at the college. She'll be sham godding people and falling over. Dude, I mean, Juju, dude, her game too is, I like her game because she's from here. She's from LA. It just feels like, I don't know. People think it's crazy, but like, it just feels like she's like an LA hooper, You just could see it. I guess if you didn't know where she's from, and you blind tested it, I'd be like, dude, she's from LA. That's also what I love about it. Damn it. On top of the world, basketball, females too. Caitlin is now, but then she's coming. Well, in college,
Juju's coming. Like, which brings me to my next point. Diana Taurasi. She was talking some shit.
Quote.
Okay. So let me get the exact quote so that we can reflect on this properly.
Yeah.
Okay. She told Scott Van Pelt on ESPN, reality is coming. There's levels to this thing. That's just life. We all went through it. You see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side. Talking directly about Caitlin Clark, she said, You look superhuman playing against some 18-year-olds, but you're going to play with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Wait a minute. College doesn't have some women who are 22 years old, 23 years old. There's not, I mean,
we were just talking about how they can't declare for the draft after their freshman year.
And I've heard the argument the other way where it's like you have a team of a college team that's like the Kentucky argument where they got the young elite studs, but then they lose to the team that has, 3 and 4 year guys who are 22 and 23-year-old grown men playing against these young boys. But then you flip it around like she's only playing against 18-year-olds, which is false. That's not the case. She's playing against 18 to 22. Come on. But just it's the slight shade, it's like that.
It was 100% shade.
Yeah, it's just
and like, what does Taurasi have
away from Taurasi? I don't understand.
Yeah, like, what does Taurasi have to gain from that? They
beat UConn, I guess. I don't know. It did seem.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Who gives a fuck? Like, you had your time at UConn.
Dude,
you were
she's
a badass
player. There's no need to.
You had great player in the WNBA.
Like, why? Away from her.
Why are you throwing shade at fucking CC buckets?
Yeah,
just drinking on the haterade.
Yeah, she had one of the 64-ounce ones, but I think that Caitlyn is like, they hear everything, and like that's just more fuel to be like, hey, fuck you. Look check out my curves now, homie.
Yeah, I can 100% say with confidence that Caitlin Clark is going to go into the WNBA and immediately make an impact. Immediately.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to start for her team. She's going to lead her team in scoring. She's going to be the focal point of the offense.
Yeah.
That's a given. It's a given.
She's an anomaly. She's not like you don't.
Oh, yeah. So
when we're talking about the curve going to the W, the curve going to the NBA, I mean, again, back to the eyeball test, like there's, that there's some curves that aren't as curvier as other people's curves. And like, when certain guys are coming into the league, you're like, this is foregone conclusion. I mean, it may take him a year. It took Wemby less than a year. And look, we knew he was an alien already. But when he first came in, that first 20 games was kind of like, oh, Holmgren's way above him. And now I don't hear anybody saying that now. They're like, the last 15 games, Wemby's been on this crazy run. And you're like, he's getting it. He's got it. And obviously he does have Pop, who's like the best guy to be guiding him.
He entered the best situation he could have entered, considering.
Which always like, they tanked, but they didn't, and they got the pick.
Listen,
like, come on,
he like 100%. Not to digress, but Wemby entered the league with an organization that 100% knew that they weren't going to be a contender.
Yeah,
and they've got Greg Popovich at the helm.
Yeah.
Wemby needs to learn to play in this league, period. Like, he didn't know how to play in the league yet. Like, and the NBA is a completely different level. I don't give a fuck where you're from. NBA is a completely different level from wherever you played before. So now he has somebody who's been at the helm for more than 2 decades, understands it more than most people in the league, and has more respect than most people in this league. So who better to teach Wemby how to play in this game, especially considering that he had David Robinson, he brought up Tim Duncan. Like, who else can you like get to bring in and teach Wemby the game?
And
nobody.
And look where they are now too. Nobody. And now they're in a spot where you're like, dude, you add a couple of pieces to this team and make some moves. There's no reason why you guys can't be in the playoffs next year.
Oh, no, 100%.
And that's less, I mean, literally a year. That's a crazy turnaround to think, and that's the same thing with Caitlyn. Like, she's going to she's going to, like anything, it's going to take her a few games where she get the pace is different, the flow is different, but now she has talent around her. Imagine she can pass. This is not just, she's not a one-trick pony who's just shooting threes.
No.
She plays basketball,
No.
So
she's a hooper.
Taurasi,
she's a straight up hooper.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that's kind of like, and that's why I think today, Dawn Staley, she's always, I've loved her since the early 90s when she was on that USA team, 95. She's, what an angel. Like, she's doing what is supposed to be, you're supposed to do for females is like she's boosting them up, and I think she was sick of the whole. How could you not call her a goat? Because she said specifically, you're one of the goats. So it's like, look, I'm sick of hearing this dumb shit too. Look, you didn't win it all, but you're the GOAT, and I appreciate what you did. That's fucking insane. Like, as insane cool that somebody's giving you flowers on that level after you just won. You went on an undefeated run, and you could easily be bitter, and her ego could have took over and was like, it's about me and about this team. I don't care. But like, she had the wherewithal, to sit there and be like, this isn't just about this championship. This is literally about the women's game. And she went like this to it, like, like Dawn Staley's, dude, she's always been goated to me, but like, that was just one thing. You're like, why don't you see this shit more of the, like, I'm not bitter. I know I was good. I know
lifting
I was
each
nice.
other up.
I don't have to like, it doesn't take away. I hate it when it's the comparison destroys individuality. Like, destroys it,
Taurasi is still going to play next season in the WNBA. She's going to play for the Phoenix Mercury.
Oh, I hope it gets a little spicy.
I'm waiting. So, and it will. And you know what? I'm watching.
Can we watch it though? Are we going to be able to watch it?
We're going to be able to. Absolutely. We can be able to watch it during the NBA offseason. We will have content.
Summertime. Yeah.
Summertime.
I want to see.
Summertime.
Get him.
Yeah. Listen, Taurasi versus Clark. I'm watching Indiana versus Phoenix because Indiana's going to draft it first, 100%. Like that's.
That's already.
And if Indiana doesn't, they're freaking stupid.
No, they are. They're not stupid. And she's right there in their backyard anyway. It's good to go.
All right.
Oh, it's going to be seamless.
All right, let's take a break. This episode of the Staches and Glasses Podcast is brought to you by Revenus Social, here to take care of your social media marketing needs. Let's say you're a small business owner. You got lots of stuff to do. You got payroll. You've got overhead. You've got all types of things that you got to pay attention to. You run a restaurant. Somebody's complaining about their soup and his house not cold enough. They ordered hot soup, but it's not cold enough. I don't know how that makes sense, but sometimes it happens. You need somebody to market you on social media, and you don't have time for that. So what do? You call Revenus Social. They keep you social on social media. They create all of the content, all of the copy, everything that you need. They'll be able to take care of you within a moment's notice. 818-209-6550. That number again, 818-209-6550. Revenus Social, keeping you social on social media. All right, we're back with Jay Watts. We just talked about the NCAA Women's Championship. Tomorrow is the men's final. Purdue and UConn are going to go ahead and finish out our brackets. And you filled out a bracket, right, Jay? Like you had UConn winning it all, right?
I did. Humble brag. I might have to send this to you to put it up on the YouTube situation.
Put it on the socials.
Kids can see, but not trying. My rank is at top 50K. I mean, I don't know how many millions and millions.
I guess you're an expert.
Signed it. I wish I'm an idiot because of course this just displays how the world works for me with gambling. It's like when I wouldn't win, and then of course now I sit there and I fill out the bracket because it's like, I want to get it done. Okay, I'm gonna go off. Saw one show on ESPN, and then on my three brackets, this bad boy's over here in the top 50. And I was like, you could have put $5. You could have hopped in a league somewhere.
Okay, to be clear, it wasn't top 50. It was top 50,000.
Yeah, as I said, out of millions, Eric, millions. Okay. If I got to bring it up for a screenshot, guys, I'll let you guys talk about it because UConn's going to win. And then,
we're making a prediction.
Maybe I go to, for my own bracket and bragging rights. Hell yeah. And I forgot his name. I'm not a guy. I'm selling out. I just want to win for my own bracket. Dan Hurley is the guy. Dan
Hurley. So, if you had just said the coach, I would have helped you out.
I was getting so excited about the potential fictitious money I could have won for actually turning this fucking thing in, and I'm still in denial, obviously. But yeah, Hurley.
Dude, I tell you what, man, like this is one of my things about being frustrated living in California. We don't have the ability to gamble on like something like FanDuel or something, one of those. So
Yeah.
I'm missing out on all this. I'm missing out on all this gambling opportunity, and I wish I had it, but it's all good. Like your pick, but I'm gonna say something here, man. Like you're picking UConn, but like Purdue's got the big man of college basketball, Zach Edey. Is that?
UConn's got a big guy too. He
I
plays
mean, they
deep.
all have big guys.
He's a big dude though. He's 6'10". Is he almost 7 foot or two
Who?
on UConn?
Donovan Clingan,
How big is
7'2". He's 7'2".
See, he's a Klingon too. Let's go.
I
He's
said
right.
Klingan.
Okay, I
Are you?
forgot.
Let me ask you something. Hold up. Are you a Trekkie?
He's gonna get me. I'm not. I just threw the term out there because it's a part of my dictionary vocab that I got in here of pop culture stuff, and that popped out.
No wonder I bring you on the pod because you've got pop culture references that you can pull out of anywhere. There. My man just said he's a Klingon.
He's good to go. The guy, I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, we'll see because Edey hasn't had to face anybody really similar to his size.
I mean, DJ Burns is a thick boy. He's
he is.
He is thick.
Shorter.
Zach Randolph with Elijah One's footwork, I guess. Like he isn't as good as both of those guys, but like it was nice to see a big man, 6'9", 6'10", be able to spin like that and get some buckets.
Yeah, he's got some good footwork and a nice little touch.
Yeah. So here's one of the things that I mentioned before the pod that I said I just wanted to get your reaction on. So Zach Edey, he's obviously Purdue's best player. Like he's the focal point of their offense. My man is missing out on NIL deals. Did you realize that?
No, why?
Because he's Canadian. He's here on a student visa, and the law stipulates that if you're not American, you can't take advantage of the NIL deal. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Why would they have some? Why don't you change that? It's Canada. The fuck? I mean,
who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
A toll road? Is that what we're worried about? NCAA? A toll road?
Because your passport is different? You can't make it.
Dude, but it's
image licensing deals?
I mean, if it's Canada or Mexico and you come on. That should just be like, those are the two countries that we don't fuck. Who cares? You're getting we'll put a stipulation in the law. That's kind of stupid because he is losing out on money.
He is losing
especially
out
local there at Purdue.
On a ton of money, dude.
You think the boosters are
feel
sliding?
Terrible. They have to be
sliding him in the back.
They have to be.
We know your situation.
So they asked him the other day, like during a press conference or something. They said, he said he was frustrated with U.S. law that prevents him from capitalizing in NIL, and says, quote unquote, I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of money. It's not like I can go film a commercial in West Lafayette. Like the fact that he's Canadian prevents him from making this money. And you've got other players making all types, like Caitlin Clark, for example, makes like 3 or 4 million a year off of her NIL deals through Nike and Gatorade and some other outfits. Edey could 100%. Yes.
Only making 3 to 5, and she's with Nike. She's with Allstate.
Oh, dude, that shit's going up once she goes to the W.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she's a regional.
She goes to the W, shit's gonna fucking double at least.
That's the thing too. I don't understand why people are like, oh, she should stay in college and make all this money. I was like, well, wouldn't she still be getting endorsed? It's just not called an NIL deal. It's just called an endorsement deal.
Yeah, she is. Listen, she is going to bring a whole bunch of eyeballs from
for sure
college to the WNBA.
All kind of companies.
All types, like
not just the RV company who sells off the freeway. Like everybody's gonna want a piece of to get on Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's what it's weird. People always
Des Moines RVs.
Yeah, they got a big cutout of her holding the basketball. Exit now. Oh, that would be awesome. He spent his whole life savings to get Caitlin Clark's ad. Go ahead, dude.
Hey, man, Caitlin's getting that bag, man. Like I gotta respect it. Like
you got a
she's
free
pulling up
RV
from 30 feet and draining threes and like selling RVs or whatever the fuck.
Dude, that'd be a sick commercial. She shoots from like 30 RVs away and it just goes right through the hoop. And he's like this. We got deals down here right off 114 I-5. Woo! We just made a commercial for an RV off the freeway. How do you do it? How do we do it?
Okay, that's it. It's official. I'm hiring you as our vice president of marketing for the Staches and Glasses podcast.
Oh, man.
Well done. 30 RVs away.
That would be sick. I could already view it like with a homemade video too. Like a budget camera because he doesn't have the budget.
Just an iPhone 4. Just
got the date in the bottom right.
Yes. Oh, we're going VHS.
Yeah.
Big old fucking VHS on the shoulder.
Qualified for that.
Hey, that'll work. Whatever gets the messaging out there, man. I'm all for it. But back on Edie, like he can't make money off of these NIL deals. So like by the time he gets to the league, he's going to make some money in ads and make some money in deals and endorsements. But do
you think his value will be as high? Like going in as a rookie in the league?
No, it won't.
Yeah.
And it's for a number of reasons. Like he's the man in Purdue, right? That's unquestionable.
Yeah.
But by the time he gets to the league, he's going to be one thing on offense. And you saw this throughout the tournament. He backs in a couple of dribbles and he turns around and he shoots a jump hook. That's Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard, that's what he did. If Edie's going to make any kind of impact in this league, he's got to be able to expand his repertoire. He's got to he's got to do some fakes. He's got to generate a fall away. He's got to generate a jumper from at least 15 feet. Like how many times have we seen these NBA teams spread the floor so much to where their center is on the top of the
Can he pick and pop at that size?
Yeah. And he has to.
Yeah. But he definitely has to. I was talking like I feel like his comp kind of is like Zubac. Like Zubac is a little bit more. He has better touch. When he first came into the league, he was a little more raw. But I could see him eventually at that kind of position where it's just you're not calling plays. You're defending the basket, rim running, grabbing rebounds. If we exist switch and there's a small on you, we'll post you up for your little 2 dribble back down. But like you said, he's got to be able to pick and pop. Even if it's not at the 3, I mean, you could pick and pop at the elbow. He's got to be able to drain that with some sort of consistency. And I know he's not working on that now because he's the big dude, so he's free throw.
He's the man at Purdue, so why work on it right now? I would assume.
I mean, he's good enough to get definitely drafted. I wonder if that's like a mid first or what that looks like, you know?
I mean, he's going to be a first round pick. Definitely,
probably later round.
I mean, the league is so small. I feel like the league is kind of beginning to make its transition back to big ball as opposed to like the small ball that we've been used to for the last decade or so. You know, I think more teams are putting value onto big men, 7-footers, which I like to see because you got to utilize those players.
Yeah.
You can't just like think of your offensive game and say, okay, we're going to completely leave our 7-footer out of this equation. The fact that they're bringing that back makes me feel confident that Edie will be in a better position by the time he gets into the league. And 5, 6, 7 years down the line, as long as he's able to stay healthy, he'll be effective. But he's definitely got to expand that repertoire. Like it's not even a question. The turnaround jump hook, while effective over these little dudes, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you gotta pull something else out of the bag to keep them guessing, don't you think?
Oh no, yeah. He's got to have and you got to be able to shoot in the league now. I mean, he can't be who cannot pick and pop and you'd even want him to be able to knock down the 3. I mean, even guys like Ilgauskas wasn't, he was, big. But that dude would still hit a pick and pop and still drain one. He had the touch for that. I I mean, I guess that's something that he could
I mean, he can
develop.
work on it. He's young, so he still
Yeah.
has a whole lot of time to develop. But I'm concerned that like a lot of these dudes gets like so focused on what they've known for
Yeah.
this amount of time, for X amount of time, that they don't expand at all. Like, and that happens to a lot of dudes in this league. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate because so many guys have such great potential.
Yeah.
Just fucking pull their heads out of their ass and like expand on what they could do both offensively and defensively. And that's the other thing too, is that Edie on the defensive end could be an absolute force. We talk about Wemby getting 3 or 4 blocks a game. Edie could be right there at that level.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to see guys get into this league and then continue to grow, as opposed to getting to the league and saying, I've made it.
No, for sure. And sometimes it's coaching. I think a lot of these guys, like you see guys who, I mean, like Phil Handy on the Lakers. This dude is man. He's a factory. Like what he did for AR's game, what he's done for Rui Hachimura's game. He's worked with Kyrie forever. Like this dude gets these guys to. I mean, dude, it's good coaching because if you have good developmental coaches, like Rico Hines is the dude from UCLA who gets all the. I mean, for years never wanted to be filmed at UCLA, but he'd have all these runs, and they were like known for the runs. And he finally, I was listening to Baron Davis, and he finally just wanted to put it on video. And this dude's, I think he's the Toronto, one of the assistant coaches, and like you get guys like him, guys like Phil Handy, who are like, bro, listen, and you'll go to the next level. Like I'm gonna up your game, but then sometimes you feel like you go to a franchise where it's like they're not so much into, putting more and more into your game. It's like, yeah, he's the 3 to 5 year project kind of thing. Like, and then, I mean, in the NBA, I guess it's like a revolving door. So if those guys don't pan out anyway, they're not paying them. They're gone. So I don't know. Hopefully he gets in the right situation where he's learning to like, this is what I got to do to expand my game in the league, or I'm going to be gone, or he'll just go overseas, dominate.
But that's the L right there. Like the moment he goes overseas, like that's when
he's still going to get paid. But yeah, you think 7-4.
Yeah, he'll get paid, but he's not. Listen, the NBA is still like the epitome of the best basketball players in the world,
and he's right there. Like
right there.
Disappointment for him not to stay in the league for sure.
Okay,
we'll see, man.
We'll see. All right, man.
Well, Zach, lose next game because I got to get it for my pool, my bragging rights. All right, pal? But I wish that you didn't get screwed with the money. That's ass. But just lose tomorrow, and then
best of luck to you. By the time people are listening to this, like the game might be over, but we'll see. I'm picking Purdue. You're picking UConn.
Trying to move into that 10K spot, baby, out of millions. I might even just put it on a shirt.
Shit.
What a dick I'd be walking around like this. Funny, 10K out of 18 million. Weird. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that's, that's weird.
All right, man. Let's transition to Computer Club. So new segment, Computer Club, is when we review Computer Club. When we
that's
review
for your shirt, actually. That's an ode to your shirt.
There you
Remember the little group when he walked by him and he was like, Computer Club.
Yes.
That's where another
reference. Great reference. So it's an ode to Encino Man.
Yes.
And but it focuses on the hot takes from the internet for the week. Each of us researched. We looked up to see what kind of hot takes we looked at and said, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's what this segment is all about. So Jay Watts, I'll let you go first, man. What's your Computer Club contribution for the week?
So besides Diana Taurasi, she's on that list for her little thing. But so I made a comment after the Warriors Rockets game. My guy Tari had the shirt that said, Warriors come out to play, and they ended up, he wore it to the game. They lost, whatever it was. I put on Dime Magazine. They had a post about it. I mean, it was all over the place. And I was like, look, when he's a kid, he loves basketball. This was literally like an example of competition, and he was so hyped that the team made a run and they made this last, because their season has been kind of up and down, and they're on this whirlwind. And when I'm listening to it, I hear a competitive guy who wants to win and who's just excited. And you're like, dude, this is what basketball needs. This is the energy we kind of need. So I put the comment on, and of course, the computer club section, the internet guys, the internet tough guys are that's a special genre. And they're in there saying the most wild shit. And I said, look, for context, people, I said, look at Draymond Green's post-game interview. That will give you a little more context, like who Tari is, kind of the way it was taken. And not, I felt like Klay Thompson was the get off my grass kind of attitude when they asked him about it. He kind of seemed like the dad who had 14 questions asked and he was ready to go for the fucking take a nap, have his TV dinner and go to sleep. And he's like, oh, man, can you believe? So I was kind of like, hey, he had an old man take. So I go, listen to the Draymond Green thing. And then people pop on.
Read some of the comments.
Man,
let me.
Human?
Are you even human?
Somebody asked me if I was human. I am. Thank God.
That's you.
So there's just like the dumb. Oh, he's a clown. You're a clown. Everybody's a clown. And I was like, look, I'm thinking to myself, I was woo-signed again. And I said, this is what's going to happen. I'm not responding to the idiot section of the computer club who are /idiot/tough guy. I was like, they got to come with some fire for me to answer back. But yeah, it's like, why is the first thing like this aggressive stance of like, we hear you, buddy. Like, this is a safe place. Okay. Internet computer club guys, we're here for you. It's okay. This is a pub. Staches and Glasses. We welcome you in.
We do.
I will give you a hug.
We will give you a virtual hug.
Yes. Whatever you guys need in there. You want a pound because you're Howie Mandel, whatever. But the point is, it's like, it was comedy. So that was, I didn't have like a specific big take. It was just and
it was just the interaction on the comment section.
It's the comment section really that's like should be flagged. It's the most heinous thing out there. But the funny thing is like, I don't know. I just those were my people of the week that I thought, wow, human race is going down.
Especially when it comes to sports takes.
We're like this you're on the roller coaster on the way down.
Yeah.
That's what sometimes it felt like, but it was
Put your hands up. It's all a ride.
It was interesting and you're just providing context. Like, I wasn't shit talking anything. It was just look, this is what I kind of saw. Look, I know Tari's this dude. Listen to Draymond. He'll tell you. And you're like, Draymond's explained was everything. And, to hear all these people, one person was like, yeah, he something about Tari. I go, look, he's not tripping. And they're like, oh, like, now? Oh, who are you, big guy? And I was thinking to myself,
you should have just explained to them.
No,
you're a regular guest on the Staches and Glasses podcast. That's who you are.
I mean, yeah, but I don't want to. Some of these people don't even need to know, because I like this is called planting seeds. I love planting seeds mostly with my students, but I'll plant seeds with some computer club nerds, because when that bad boy comes back and grows and they're like, oh shit, didn't see you, I'm gonna be like this. That's daddy.
All right,
right there.
Well done.
That's my people.
All right, here's my contribution to the computer club for this week.
You got a good
Gilbert Arenas.
Ooh, a big time member.
Big time
That's
contributor.
A big name.
Big name. San Fernando Valley's own Gilbert Arenas.
He was our class.
He played
with Kevin in the All-Star game at Cal State Northridge. Well, he didn't play.
There you go. Well,
he sat out, but
listen, Gilbert Arenas was a stud in the league. Yeah. Up until the point where he brought a gun into the locker room and everybody was like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, why are you doing this? And then he got hurt.
A little feisty.
Kind of phased out in the league. But he routinely tries to keep himself relevant in basketball circles. And his latest attempt was saying that, and I'm just going to quote it straight out. Nikola Jokic, quote unquote, this is from Gilbert Arenas. Nikola Jokic is probably statistically, when it comes to overall game, the worst MVP winner. He's the worst MVP winner of the last 40 years. End quote.
Yeah, I was kind of confused, like, because he did name. So he named a couple that were whoa, he's so angry. He's so upset that I was like, I can't take the pressure.
My wife is off in the background just listening to my side because she can't hear you. She's just like, wait a second. He brought a gun.
I know the audacity. The audacity.
So yeah, Gilbert said this, and I forget, like, I think it was on the Worldwide Leader, like they gave him some airtime by mistake or whatever. But like he said that, and it was just like, Gil, we're talking about like the best player in the league for the last 4 years minimum. Like, okay, he didn't win the MVP last year. Embiid did. Like, Embiid campaigned for that. That's fine. But he's by far and away the MVP this year. He was by far and away the MVP in the 2 years prior.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like he's just like miraculously doing things. The guy literally is the best passer on the offense. He hits all types of like incredible shots. He has such great court awareness. Yeah. Like, how is this something that you're genuinely standing on? I honestly feel like Gil is trying to keep himself relevant in basketball circles. So I think this may be like his attempt to like, just like, start the fire. But come on, man. I mean, are you serious?
I don't think because I was trying to break, so he uses the Magic. He used a Westbrook example, a Jordan year. So he like pointed out like these 5 incredible years where you're like, you have to give it to this player because it was just incredible, right? And then I'm like, okay. And then he starts like listing what their team was rated at when he won. Oh, he was 5th. They were 5th in the league. He was 10th in the league. So that was like, yeah, like I was wondering, okay, was he trying to say? Because for me, it's like, your MVP, it should be the guy who, I mean, if let's say you have a talent of like a 15 ranked guy in the league and you get him into the playoffs, or you get a top 8 or top, that's impressive, because most guys wouldn't even get in the playoffs, but you will, that like you're the most valuable player. But I was trying to make sense too of the numbers, and I'm like, all 40 years, first of all, I mean, 40
years is a long time.
That's a bold statement to be like, hey, he's the worst in 40. If you want to say he's the top 10 of not the best, I mean, okay, but yeah, he did say
even that. Like, listen, we had MVP talk for Steph Curry when they're in the 10th seed and barely making the play-in a few years ago, and nobody was talking shit about Steph. Okay,
yeah,
because Steph is Steph. He hits all these fucking incredible threes, but I have always been of the camp that you can't be an MVP candidate unless you are willing your team to be one of the most competitive teams in the league. And he didn't point out Steph.
Yeah.
He's just hating on Jokic. And this comes off of, I'm hitting my mic here. This comes off of the heels of him saying it's the European players. That's why the league is so soft now. Like the league's offense is getting better because European players don't play defense. Like, this is another shot at European players for him.
The rules have changed to speed up the game, for sure. But I mean, Europeans have the top 5 guys in the league.
Yeah,
like right now, not even from here.
They've got an itch or an empo or something in their last name that says they're not American. Yeah. Even SGA is Canadian.
Damn it, he needs to get he's getting his NIL money.
Gilbert's just mad that he's the best thing to come out of the Valley, and nobody talks about him in the top 30 of NBA players. Get the fuck out.
I like sometimes some of his takes. I mean, I'm not against all of them, but when I did hear that, I was like, oh, he does have a couple where they're very like, okay, but I just don't like the absolutes. Yeah, I don't like the absolute stuff.
Only Sith thinking absolutes.
Oh, well, I don't like absolute Siths. Okay, a lot of in between the wiggle room here. Okay, it's not just black and white. We got grays all over the place.
We've got purples. It's all.
There's a lot of context, but
lots of spectrums.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, when you put the absolute on it, it does make it like, it doesn't help an argument. Just like this, like we were talking about with the Caitlyn thing. Like, you don't win a championship, you're not a GOAT. Like,
Get out of here.
why are we working like this? Like,
Get
it's
out of
not,
here.
you can say that you don't think he's, as
Here's
good
my
as
thing.
he is, or as good as the hype is, whatever. But until proven not, I mean, if they win again this year and he goes back to back, I mean, that's enough, right? Where
everybody should shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
that's what should happen. Here's my thing. Somebody in the comment section of whatever post this was, I forget which, but the caption was exactly what I said. Jokic is the worst MVP winner of the last 40 years. And like the most liked comment, like hit the nail right on the head. They said Gilbert Arenas is the worst NBA analyst in the last 40 years.
Oh my God.
It's like, done deal.
Oh my God.
Send him home.
Oh,
you're done, buddy. All right, Watts, we're out of time, man. Anything you want to plug or give a shout out to?
My son for his birthday. Give a shout out to him.
Big 13, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm still young, so
yeah.
I was gonna think right now. It's like, damn, maybe they'll just hear my audio.
How are you young when you're Generation X?
That's one of the many mysteries of Mr.
It's a paradox, buddy.
Yeah, some things you can't answer. I mean, I can't tell you why. I'm aging, okay? It's not that I'm not aging, but I'm still not letting these little young punks get the best of me, okay? Sundays, see me.
Speaking of old man with telling people to get off his grass.
I don't know, but I'm very open arms. I start off like this. Come on, come in, bring it in. That's how I start off. But once some knucklehead goes off, like in the comment section, I was like, now I'm learning though, woosah, and you only can respond to like witty, smart people. Mm-hmm. And you know what the big picture of this whole thing is, that at the end of the day, more people actually liked the comment, and it's always the smaller, loud section who fucks everything up for the consensus group who just wants to like enjoy a conversation, or it's not all, So I want to still a safe place. People come to the show, relax because you're obviously wound up, and go to IG Just Waters Art. You're gonna find
Waters Art.
Yeah. And then like one of the comments was roasting because I didn't have as many followers as I'm supposed to have, and I was like, do I mention, this is a new page, relatively new. I got hacked. Even though some were already hacked from the hack, they're probably inactive, but for show, it all is about your followers. So I was like, you know what, Justin? No, once we hit 2 mil, I'm just going to receipt them into my final championship, after we go to 2 mil. So I'm looking forward to it. Planting seeds, bro. Have a good weekend.
All right, Watts. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right.
We're here with the beautiful, wonderful, wonderful, beautiful Tabithanos.
Hi.
Tabs. We just had a weekend full of sports.
Sports
ball, but also sports with big buff men and very athletic ladies.
Yes, a couple of buff men though. We were talking about
WrestleMania 40.
Yes.
Yeah,
but we were saying they're not as big as they were, and it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of back in my day talk where I was like, dude, why are these guys so small?
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact, Erik and I met at a bar, and one of our first discussions ever was who was the best wrestler ever.
Yes.
And heated debate is still going back and forth to this day.
Yeah.
But back in our day, wrestlers is one of our favorite topics ever. So WrestleMania this weekend was kind of a big deal for both of us.
It was a big deal. And I'll be honest, like, WrestleMania hasn't been a big deal for me for a really long time.
A long time. Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the most hyped and excited after the fact that I've been in a long time.
You know what? I actually kind of blame our resident fanboy, Louis Sayo.
Yeah.
He was very much on the pro wrestling tip for as long as we've known him.
Oh, the tip.
Oh, the tip. Just the tip. And he was talking a lot about WrestleMania leading into this week. And then I like messaged both of you and I was just like, I think we need to watch WrestleMania this weekend.
Yeah.
So we did.
And we did.
Yeah, we begrudgingly ordered Peacock.
Oh God. I'm over this whole like sign up for this another streaming service. Here's 17,000 different streaming services you have to sign up for.
Yes.
And I'm like, fine, whatever. WrestleMania seems like it was a good card. I will sign up for it. Fine, I guess. Begrudgingly, like you said.
Yeah, it was, we're just like, okay, fine. And we got it. And what did we get? We got the $6-7
Yeah,
tier.
there's the cheaper tier and the more expensive tier, and we're like, nah, we're going the cheap route. I don't care.
The cheap route because we're not going to watch a whole lot of Peacock. But then you started looking stuff up on Peacock, and you're like, oh, we should watch this.
Yeah,
and I'm like, don't fall into the trap.
No, we have 1 month. We signed up for a month. We have like 3 things to watch. We're going to knock those out and cut it off. That's fine.
That's done.
Hopefully, that's the plan. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. But WrestleMania 40 2-night event. We started it on Saturday, yesterday, fitting in college basketball and pro wrestling. You were nice enough to let me have my college basketball on the big screen first, and then transitioned and put wrestling on the big screen after the game was
But I
done.
was tapping him. I was like, "Hey, WrestleMania's on. When can we put that on?"
Yeah, you definitely were. I was just like, "Don't worry, there's like 2 minutes left." But Saturday started okay. Like we were both like nostalgia bitten with like, oh wow, it's WrestleMania. Like when's the last time we watched WrestleMania? And we were about it, but then we started to feel a little like we weren't getting exactly what we paid for, although we only paid $7.
Yeah, it was okay. There were some matches I was kind of hyped for, so I was excited about Cody from the start, and of course The Rock coming back is a big deal, but hated Roman Reigns, and I feel like that's the general consensus is everybody hates Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So that's why they brought The Rock back, and that was the big old thing. But all the matches leading up to that even were just like, yay, and they just weren't good.
Yeah,
we were watching it. We're just like, okay, I guess this is why I'm not super into WWE anymore. We grew up in the heyday of wrestling, and this is not matching up, period. It just wasn't. We were not hyped.
We were not hyped at all.
Yeah.
So Saturday night started out with, oh God, what did they start out with? Was it Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch?
Was that opening match? Yeah,
I
I should have kept track. Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. Like I was thinking, yeah, Becky, and then you were like, hey, Rhea Ripley, I really like her, but like even so, like we were noticing that Becky was just like uncomfortably skinny.
Well, not even that. Like, yeah, she got skinnier, which whatever. I liked her back in the day. Like she was beautiful back in the day.
Oh, she's still beautiful. I'm just saying that like health wise, she looked thin.
She did. I've never been a fan of Becky, and her whole costume was a hype for her book, and the whole thing was like, oh, here's my book, and here's quotes for my book, and my book.
Everything is marketing.
Everything's marketing.
Everything is marketing.
But then Rhea came out, and I haven't seen it in a minute. I hadn't seen her. I don't know if she transitioned or what. Transitioned, but whatever. She used to be very, cut hair and buff, and
like there wasn't a whole lot of like gender identity with her last look. Like,
she was very trying to like prove she could be buffer than the last girl.
Yeah.
And
this time was different.
She's Bodacious babe. Like, she looked good.
Bordacious.
Bodacious.
Not bodacious,
No,
but bordacious.
bordacious.
There's a new word.
Yeah.
There's a new $3 word that we have on the Staches Glasses podcast.
This is the first time I've seen her since the shorn haircut. I was just like, oh, who are you, hot lady? Look at you. She was hot before. I really liked her. I'm a metalhead. I do appreciate, like, especially she had her opening song. The band was there playing. That was badass. Fucking love that. But I don't know. She looked good. I thought she looked really, really good. Like, with her beautiful hair and her makeup done without it being this dark, gothic, like, I'm here to prove a point. Like, you can still be a gorgeous lady and still fucking kick ass.
And
like,
she did.
And she did.
She won.
And she won.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was especially delighted because I'm not a fan of Becky. So I was just like, heck yeah, let's go.
You were out of your seat happy about that.
I was.
The next match was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship 6-pack tag team ladder match.
What
there was a lot to unpack there.
The opening 10 seconds, pure chaos. And I loved it. And I was like, okay, this is what I love.
Bell rang, all of a sudden, just chaos. Just a bunch of chaos.
Chaos. And so, I mean, that's what I know and love. And I was excited. And then it just got down to boredom. I got really disappointed.
Yeah,
real quick.
So A-Town Down Under won the SmackDown Championship, which is a point I'm about to talk about. And then Awesome Truth won the Raw Tag Team Championship. Which you don't like because the Miz.
Hate the Miz.
Do not like the Miz.
Hate him.
Hate the Miz.
Hate.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, no, pure hatred. I fucking hate that guy. I was so upset when that started happening and you're realizing, like, oh no, and that's disappointing because I love R-Truth. I really do. Mm-hmm. But he's with the Miz and R-Truth is climbing up the ladder. I'm like, fuck. Miz is going to win.
Yep.
Because of R-Truth. Miz did nothing. He did nothing. It was R-Truth doing all of the climbing of the ladder. And
he put in the work.
Fucking the Miz won because I was pissed.
That's okay.
I was pissed.
You get over it real quick.
No, I'm still mad.
You're still mad?
I'm still mad.
24 hours later.
I hate Miz. I hate him so much.
Why do we have to have a SmackDown and Raw championship belt?
I was curious about that. So Erik and I both have kind of been out of the game for a minute. I watched it on and off throughout the 2020, 21, 22. I kind of fell off after that, but I was confused. Why were there dual belts up there? Maybe
it doesn't fucking matter.
Sayo could probably tell us.
Sayo couldn't make it today. He went to a baby shower.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So we were texting. And I said a few things about the match tonight. And Sayo was like, dude, I'm trying to watch it on my phone from a baby shower. I was like, get out of there. Escape.
Yeah. Say you have diarrhea.
Yeah. I would not. I feel so sorry for you, Sayo.
Next match, Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And this was our first moment where we're like, do you not have to work out to be a pro wrestler anymore?
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio looks like he skips all gym days.
All of them. Like, you've been wrestling for a couple of years now, sir, and you're Rey Mysterio's fucking son, and you look like a limp noodle. Like, what?
Yeah, like your diet consists of, tortillas y cerveza.
I mean, not even. I mean, yes, probably.
Probably that.
And
plus,
zero
he's got
beans.
a stupid fucking haircut.
The mullet sucks. He wears a shirt, which is weird for a wrestler. And you're Rey Mysterio's fucking son. What is wrong with you, sir? Yeah. What is wrong with you?
That was dumb. The only good part about that particular match, Jason Kelsey.
Oh, my goodness. So, maybe just caught up into it too much, but the guys come out and they're wearing the green Philadelphia Eagles colors on their stupid luchador masks.
Yeah.
And I'm still sitting there like, who is this? Who is this?
Who is that? Jay Watts actually texted me and said I immediately knew who that was.
Oh my goodness.
We weren't paying close enough attention.
I think
Either
I
that
was
or we
just too
had
caught
too
up
much.
into it.
We probably had too much to drink at that point too.
Maybe. But so excited about that. I was like, oh, this is fun. And then they rip off their masks and it's freaking Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey makes a WWE WrestleMania appearance.
Hell yeah.
There's your WrestleMania moment.
And if anybody's ever seen that meme where he's at Super Bowl, he's just like, with his shirt off. Like, yeah, he brought that energy to WWE.
He absolutely did, and I loved every moment of it.
Oh yeah, I'm here for it.
I was all for Jason Kelsey just post NFL career, doing whatever the fuck he wants. Shirt off, luchador mask off, just fucking with fucking Timberlands.
Yeah,
you know, like not even dude, just Timberlands.
God, so that was the thing. So there were two guys. I don't even know who the second guy was, but another linebacker, I'm sure, from the Eagles. But
Lane Johnson,
he had
offensive tackle.
He was a tackle. Okay. He had Jordans. And so that was the first thing Eric noticed. Like, oh, he's got Jordans on.
Yeah, of course.
But the other guy had Timberlands on. And of course, it's Jason Kelsey that has the Timberlands on.
Probably, arguably the best part of night one.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey showing up.
That was super fun.
Next match, the Uso brothers.
Uso! Which I thought I would have liked more.
Me too. I did not enjoy this match.
There was such a hype video. They added like a 2-minute hype video about them being twins, which I didn't know. I didn't know they were twins. I knew they were brothers. Again, maybe you just haven't been paying enough attention the last few years.
So the way that they hyped this up too is that they kind of related it to Owen and Bret Hart and like how the sibling matches were something that's happened just a few times in WWE history. Yes. And they were trying to like hype it up to that, and it just didn't live up to the hype. It was a bunch of bullshit back and forth about, you're my brother, I love you. And it's like nobody was really buying it. They didn't sell it very well.
I didn't buy it either. Yeah, I wanted to. I really did. And that's the thing about wrestling. You have to choose to buy into it. It is cheesy. It is silly.
100%.
It is soap opera for... I want to say men, but for me too, like it's a soap opera.
Like grown adults look at this and say, yes, I know this is scripted, but I'm going to enjoy the dramedy.
Yeah, you have to choose to buy into the cheese, which I do. And I couldn't buy into this cheese.
This cheese was stale and rotten and full of mold.
It wasn't even blue cheese. It was just rotten.
It was nasty cheese. Another thing too is that like this was another moment, like a Dominic Mysterio moment where we looked at the Usos and it's just like, dude, like when's the last time you lifted?
Yeah. Oh, I was commenting several times. I'm like, okay, your cousin's The Rock. Where are your pecs?
Yeah.
Neither one of them had any pec muscles at all.
Y'all ever bench?
Yeah. What's your excuse? You're wrestling 5 times a week at minimum? What the I was astounded.
Yeah.
You should be more built.
So Jey Uso won the match for frog splash off the top rope.
Was that the Yeet guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not a great match
to watch. I wanted more.
Yeah. So then we had the 6-woman tag team match: Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage.
You actually stepped out.
Control.
You didn't watch that one.
No, I left.
Yeah.
I left. I went to go get dinner.
You did.
I was like, okay.
And thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. That one was fun. Bianca's one of my faves. I love her. And then I was telling you, I think it's Naomi. She's got some fucking arms.
Dude, she's swole.
She's swole and beautiful.
She doesn't skip the gym.
No, she does not skip the gym. She put previous wrestlers to shame.
She could curl Dominic Mysterio. Like
she probably
100%.
does as part of her workout.
Come here with your stupid ass haircut.
Gorge. Good for her.
Next match. Oh, by the way, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, they won that match.
Yes, yes, they did.
Intercontinental Championship match was next. That was Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I also missed that one.
You did.
What was that? What did we eat for dinner last night? I don't even remember. But it took me a while to get it.
Chipotle.
It was Chipotle. And we ordered ahead of time, and I still missed this match.
Yeah, I think you chose to miss that one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did I also play Call of Duty off to the side? Maybe.
Yeah,
I
I think you did. I mean, it was entertaining. Apparently, Zane, right? Is his name?
Multiple splashes off the top rope. Did he do?
He did. He's also a comedian. Apparently, he's going to be performing here in LA soon. And I was like, oh,
we might have to go check that out to see if it was better than his WrestleMania 40 performance.
Right? It was okay. It wasn't, this is where I was just like, man, like back in my day, wrestling was so much better.
Sami Zayn won, got the pin for the fourth time in his career is the Intercontinental Champion.
It was really sweet because they did a thing where he like kissed his wife backstage and blah, blah, blah. So of course you're like supposed to root for him and he won. We're like, okay, yay. Yeah.
They were trying to sell it, but it wasn't being bought very much.
Yeah.
Main event of the Saturday night WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because he doesn't just go by The Rock anymore. No. And Roman Reigns, which is a match nobody asked for. Nobody.
I was pissed. I love Cody. If you've heard a previous pod, Cody, the second he came back, was my it guy. He is it. He could do no wrong. I think he's fantastic. He's a character. He's got the legacy. And he
was dressed like Homelander.
So there was a meme that I sent Eric, and it was Homelander versus Jason Momoa's, Aquaman. Mm-hmm. And that's him versus Roman Reigns. And it's perfect. Yet Cody is not Homelander. He is the boy you want to root for. I love him. I really wanted him to win. But the second they said if him and Seth freaking Rollins, if they lose, then there's bloodline rules. I called it immediately. I was like, so Cody's going to lose so that tomorrow there's going to be bloodline rules. Just
no rules. That's what bloodline rules is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was hoping for something spectacular to happen in this match, and I just didn't get it. The Rock really didn't do a whole lot. In fact, like the first 10, 15 minutes of the match were just them kind of just pacing around, looking at each other. There was zero action. It was all just like supposed to like stand as like the buildup. Yeah. But there just wasn't any buildup. It was just everybody like looking at it like.
And like the Rock ran around to Cody's mom.
Yeah.
And there was
Mama
like
Rhodes.
Yeah. And like she was cute though. She's like, this is bullshit. Like that part was cute, but there was just all this exposition. I'm like, I got my hopes down.
Yeah, it really was a letdown. Like Saturday night left us feeling like, oh man, Sunday's got a lot to make up for.
Yeah, and I kind of thought this is why I've backed off of wrestling for a while. It was not good. It was okay. There were some points here and there, but it was not good. Yeah. I was like, whatever, I'll watch tomorrow anyway. I already paid for the month-long subscription to Peacock.
We're here already. Yeah. Let's do this. So The Rock and Roman Reigns
won.
Yeah. Rock tagged himself in as the legal man, catching Rhodes with the rock bottom and finishing him off with a second attempt at the People's Elbow. Which, by the way, the People's Elbow, most electrifying move in sports entertainment, wasn't so electrifying on Saturday night.
No, I really was sad. I wanted more.
I left the couch or my chair that night thinking, my goodness, this is where the WWE is gone. Yeah. Like, this is WrestleMania. Yeah. And they had a whole lot to make up for on Sunday. I think Sunday delivered.
They fucking delivered.
They delivered.
Oh my goodness. And I want to wonder if it's on purpose.
What?
Was Saturday mediocre so that you would be hyped for Sunday?
I don't know. Maybe.
I wonder.
They opened the show with something that I didn't anticipate.
You did not. So I told Eric, I've kept more in touch with the WWE than Erik has in most recent years. And I was like, sometimes they open up with a great match. It's not always just like mediocre match first. So I warned him, I was like, hey, we have to tune in right away because the first match might be a really, really good match.
And you were right.
And today I was right.
Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Drew fucking McIntyre is my boy.
And, you know, the whole story was that Seth Rollins injured his knee in the night before, and McIntyre takes him out, does 5 or 6 finishing moves.
God. Okay, we could talk about this for like 10 more minutes, but we're trying to keep this short. My only thing is, yeah, Drew won. I was hyped. I fucking love Drew. He only won his championship during COVID when there was nobody in the stands at all. By like empty. And I watched it anyway because I was so hyped about this guy. I love him. I think he's got it. And so for the first time ever, he wins it in front of a crowd of people. And then they immediately steal it.
Yep.
Immediately steal it from him. Fucking Money in the Bank. Damian Priest comes up and takes advantage because he's injured too. I was elated and then devastated.
McIntyre was champion for all of 5 minutes.
5 minutes in front of a crowd. And I was pissed, but that's wrestling, baby. It gets your emotions going.
It does.
I was a roller coaster, and I'm still pissed. I think Drew needs to get his comeback, but that's the whole point. Drew's going to get his comeback. They're going to keep me watching so that Drew gets a comeback.
Next match, the Pride versus the Final Testament in a Philadelphia street fight, which had special guests. Oh, by the way, CM Punk was also special guest commentating for the World Heavyweight Championship match. And he played a key role because he was, you know, McIntyre was all talking to him after the match, and all of a sudden the shit got cashed in and he's done.
Yeah, I love CM Punk, but I was pissed because I love Drew McIntyre more now. I'm like, CM, you're in the past. You're not doing anything. I know you got your rivalry. Shut the fuck up. But again, that's part of the point. Like, it's meant to rile you up. So
yeah,
like he did
and
that.
He did that.
Yeah, no, CM riled me up. I was like, shut up, CM. Let Drew be Drew.
You and your suit need to shut up.
Yeah.
Go away.
But then he takes off that arm brace and beats Drew with it.
Hits him with it. You know, the suitcase gets immediately cashed in. We got a new champion. All right, next match was, as I said, the Pride versus Final Testament. Special guest announcer, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg!
D-O-double-G.
Yeah. Gin and juice.
Oh, yeah, because we have to admit, we have to say, Gin and Juice was a paying sponsor for this particular match. They had the fucking name on the side of the apron, on the side of the ring, everywhere. You got Snoop Dogg, you know, his Gin and Juice is being advertised. Yeah. So of course he's going to be.
I took a video.
But he did good.
He did good. Dude, if Snoop Dogg could just comment on every single fight ever, I would be in for it.
Snoop Dogg needs to be in every Bobby Lashley match.
That's another discussion about Bobby Lashley. The only thing I'll say about this fight, and then we'll move on, is I took a video of Snoop Dogg coming in and then moved over to Erik playing Call of Duty, where he currently is playing as Snoop Dogg as his character.
I have the Snoop Dogg skin.
So for Gaming Not You, follow that.
Oh yes, thank you for the plug.
You're welcome.
Yeah, checks in the mail.
I thought that was so funny because it wasn't even on purpose. Erik already had that character up, and I was like, oh look at it, it's Snoop. Rest of the fight, trash. Didn't like it.
Yeah, didn't really care for it.
No,
but it was all good. After one failed attempt, Ford hit a big frog splash to put Cross through a table to get the win. Yay. Hooray for that. Best part, Snoop. 100%.
Snoop.
Next match, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. And you hate AJ Styles.
I hate AJ Styles.
Explain your hate.
Fucking hate this guy. There isn't even a
no legitimate reason. You just don't like him.
He's just annoying. Every single time I've ever seen him, he annoys the fuck out of me, and I just hate this guy.
Okay.
So I immediately was for LA Knight. not even knowing who this guy was, which is unusual for me. Just like
he's the new Slim Jim guy.
Apparently, I was questioning why they were pushing Slim Jim so much. I'm like, no,
Slim
but
Jim
that's
was
Macho
sponsoring
Man.
this match.
Yeah,
I guess
but,
because they were all on the aprons too.
Yeah,
juice.
And they definitely had the whole they
totally had Macho Man's like voice playing as part of the ad.
100%. And it kind of made me sad. I'm like, well, why is Slim Jim now like still doing this? Like Macho. But anywho,
rest in peace, Macho Man.
Yeah,
legend.
R.I.P. Sir. But anyway, immediately it was just like, I don't care who LA Knight is. I'm going for him versus AJ Styles because I fucking hate AJ Styles.
Okay.
And then LA Knight comes into the ring and Erik says,
the Air Jordan 12s were very much the inspiration for his boots. And I am like, all right, so LA Knight's a sneakerhead, right? He has to be because he wrestled in the Concorde, the Air Jordan 11 Concords before, but boot style, of course. And LA Knight it has to be a mix of British Knights and LA Gear. the shoe companies from the early 90s that I probably had a couple of pairs of each.
And only Erik would know this. Like, goodness, I knew none of these things.
Yeah, it was... And that was the thing that stood out about the match. I kept looking at his boots.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the match. I just kept looking at his boots like, dude, I have those in my closet right now.
It does.
I
really
do.
Does.
and it was amazing to me. I'm like, this guy is my new best friend.
Yeah.
I love him to death.
Yeah.
I hope he wins. And guess what? He
fucking won.
He beat AJ Styles.
Fuck it, AJ Styles.
Wow. After countering with the forearm, Knight won. With a BFT.
If I'm going to be honest, it wasn't that impressive of a match. They did.
It wasn't.
I don't like AJ Styles. He's not that impressive. It just.
Bleacher Report gave it a B+.
Ew. Well, we have a lot of contentions with Bleacher Report. They don't report
what are you talking
well.
about? I used to work for Bleacher Report.
Yeah, and since you left, it went downhill.
Yeah, that's why it went downhill. Because I left.
Dude. I believe that. I also think they fucking suck. They're just not good.
So the next match wasn't so much of a great match, but it was just really popular because somebody everyone hates is in it. United States champion Logan Paul. What even was that?
I can't even control my emotions about how much I hated this match.
Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton.
I hate every single person involved in this match.
Who do you hate the least?
The least?
Mm-hmm. Owens?
Yeah.
Who do you hate the most?
Paul. Logan Paul fucking blows. Okay. Are you kidding me?
He's the definition of when your parents have a lot of money, you could basically do whatever you want.
Erik and I were saying earlier, how do these wrestlers feel about fighting against some twatwad like Logan Paul? Like, I love that. Yeah, fuck. Everybody hates him, right? Who likes him? Who likes this guy? Who?
Jake Paul.
And so I hope Mike Tyson punches his teeth out. All of them. All of the teeth just out of his mouth.
If we're being honest, that's the draw. Like, people hate these guys so much that they tune in just to see them lose. And they keep getting disappointed in hopes that like the next guy will be able to come in and beat them. So Logan Paul has wrestled in a few big events. He's been champion for like 150 something days, which is, I think, stupid. Like, we're devaluing the US title by having this dude come in, like, advertise Prime, because here was the next advertiser, Prime.
Oh, we were saying that too. Like, when did he win a championship? Who let this happen? Like, what the fuck is happening today?
Yeah, so he paid for the advertising, so he gets to be in a match. That's the stipulation.
Yeah.
We're speculating, but I'm guessing that's accurate.
Pretty sure.
And, you know, Prime is the energy drink that is being sponsored here. And so he has a guy in a huge Prime bottle.
Who also was involved in the match somehow.
Also a YouTuber. Also a fucking YouTuber.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, this kid.
I
Oh,
Show
Jesus.
Speed is his name.
I hate everything about this.
This match was fucking stupid.
Tonight would have been perfect except for this match. Put that shit in yesterday's match. Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Tonight, no, you broke a great day.
Yeah. So I know you don't like Randy Orton, and
No.
I know you don't like Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like these guys deserve better than wrestling Logan fucking Paul.
I agree. I do agree.
Yeah.
As much as I dislike both of them, they deserve better.
Randy Orton has been to the top of the organization. Kevin Owens was one of the best things ever to come out of NXT.
Huge supporter of NXT and the fact that he came out and became such a big thing. Excellent. Love that. Period. Randy Orton probably should have not been shoved down our throat as much, kind of like a Roman Reigns type thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they just tried to push him so hard. I'm like, you could have been better if you weren't like, oh my God, he's the next big thing. And all of us were like, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's just not.
He's not.
He would have done better.
To cap off the shit show.
Fucking hated
Logan
it. That
Paul
was
won.
the low point of entire WrestleMania Sunday, period.
After getting hit with an RKO, Owens ends up taking a frog splash from Logan Paul, and he retains the U.S. title. Bunch of bullshit.
I'm going to ignore that happened. I pretend it didn't happen.
Io Sky versus Bayley, WWE Women's Championship. How'd you like it?
It was okay. If it weren't for the Logan Paul fight, this would have been the low point. I do like Bayley. I liked her whole turn from the Four Horsemen to being solo to becoming her own thing. And again, loving Egyptian mythology, seeing her come out like that was super fun. Love that. Other than that, bland fight.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Bland. Not a whole lot going on there.
No.
I don't like the way the ladies bounce off the ropes. It looks like the ropes don't move.
Yeah.
I need more spring in my wrestling stuff.
If you're going to do that, do more more intricate moves. It was a bland fight for me. So we can move on.
Bayley defeated Sky.
She did.
Which
I
won
was
the
happy.
WWE Championship.
I'm glad that happened.
Good for her.
But yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't excited by it.
Yeah.
Didn't sell me.
It's whatevs.
Now, main event time. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Woo!
This sold the show.
Sold the show.
100% sold the show. So we had a lot of back and forth. And when it comes to WrestleMania, you have to expect some big moments and some big cameos.
Yeah.
And we got all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
Oh my goodness.
So before the match, Snoop Dogg was in the ring with the Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders and announced the attendance was 72,000, yada, yada, yada. Lots of energy and lots of lights and lots of spectacle when it came to both their entrances.
Oh, Cody came out to like 3 different fireworks set-offs.
Yeah. There was a lot going on there.
Lots going on.
So here's the thing. The match itself was okay. Like they were doing okay. But the moment it started to turn for me was when The Rock and John freaking Cena. I'm going to go ahead and steal Seth Rollins' nickname. John freaking Cena.
Fucking Seth Rollins. I hate him. Anyway, continue.
Oh, boy.
So upset.
Oh.
So upset.
So upset. There we go. I'm just going to knock over cameras now. So John Cena comes down and starts messing dudes up.
And that was exciting because like you hear the intro and you're like, wait a minute. Oh, this is happening. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. And The Rock shows up. Mm-hmm. The Usos show up.
Well, and what I liked about it is every time they would pause everything and then play the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd heard rumors about who's going to show up or whatever. And I had my hopes up for a couple of people because I heard some rumors.
Stone Cold.
God, he didn't show up, and I'm really sad about that.
That's okay. But you know who did show up?
So every time they paused and they played like the music, but for like a snippet, I'm like, oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's not. And then it fucking was.
Dong. The Undertaker showed up.
It got quiet.
And I was hoping for the whole like turn down the lights thing, and then Undertaker appears, and that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what fucking happened. We didn't get to see the whole ring shot, so we don't like. I'm sure it just got dark and he just appeared behind. But from our view, from the camera, got dark. You hear the dong.
It got dark. Lights come on. Everybody's knocked out except for The Rock. He's standing there, and he's just like,
and then fuck? Undertaker's face behind him.
Undertaker's face was like,
just
pissed. It was great. And then the Rock tries to throw a shot. Undertaker catches him, gets the hand around the neck. Dead man throws the Rock to the mat.
The fucking mat.
And then the lights go out and they're both gone.
Yeah. Lights go out. Lights go back on. Gone. I jumped out of my seat. I was yelling at the screen. I have not been this hyped in years about wrestling, and period. Like, I just... So they know what they're doing. Nostalgia bait, like we said. Yep. Totally fine. 100% down for it. Fucking loved it. I was so excited.
So Cody Rhodes hits him with 3 crossroads finishing moves, because you have to do multiple finishing moves nowadays.
You do. And Erik's upset about this.
Too many finishing moves. The finishing move was to finish it.
I know, but I love Cody. So whatever it takes for Cody to win, fine. I called it yesterday.
Hits him with multiple.
Yeah, but I called it yesterday. Like, he's gonna lose tonight, but he's gonna win Sunday. And he fucking won Sunday.
He won. They made a big fanfare about it. Everybody came to the ring. CM Punk was there. John Cena reappeared.
Yeah.
And it was all over. He gave a shout out to a couple of people, Triple H included, and Triple H came down and gave him a big hug. Yeah. It was all good. He went to his mom, embraced his mom. It was a really nice moment. Really nice moment.
Sweet. It was really sweet. I was kind of hoping Goldust would make an appearance.
You knew he wasn't going to. He's an AEW product.
But, it could happen.
No, it can't.
It could.
It will not.
I know.
He has to leave AEW.
I was hoping.
So, overall on the weekend, what'd you grade it?
I can only grade it like a 7, and that's only cut. Well, okay, so night 1, 5. Like,
ooh, wow.
Night 1 was
you're being like hard on them.
Night 1 was not. I was just really disappointed. Like, this is what you're giving me? Okay. Night 2, solid 8.5. So I guess the median's like a 7. I don't know. But
7.2.
Yeah, but dude, tonight again, jumping out of my seat, was literally cheering, was so excited for tonight. Give me this more. This is what I love about wrestling. Also, your shirt. Oh, yeah. So my handsome husband made me the shirt when we first started dating. This is off a protest sign we saw. Pro-science, pro-choice, pro-wrestling, baby! The sign was in a WWE crowd. Like, somebody had that with that exact same font. Yeah, no, this is literally that kid's handwriting. And so Erik made this shirt for me because I was like, oh, I would wear that on a shirt. And he's like, I got you. There you go. And I have it now to this day. I have a shirt too, but my wife didn't make it. That's okay. No. She's bought me other things. Yeah. I think I bought you that shirt. We saw Pauly Shore. We did see Pauly Shore. Great show, by the way. We'll talk about it on another pod. But I probably give the night a 7.5. The whole weekend? Not the weekend. The weekend is 7.5. Okay. Night 1, a 6. Like, really? A 6? That's pretty high, sir. It's you don't even... It's a D. You don't even know the wrestlers as well, and that's still a 6. I was slightly entertained. That's good. I just, I paid $7 for it, and I got $7.
That's how I.
That's fair.
And then night 2. That's an 8.5. Yeah. It was a good night.
Yeah.
It was a good
night
night.
2 was.
And this followed up NCAA basketball. Like I was already hyped.
Yeah.
So
surprisingly, now we're into women's basketball.
Well, I mean, Caitlin Clark is a stud.
She's great.
Yeah, she's
really
amazing.
Good.
She's going to do so many great things in the WNBA.
Yeah,
and haters are already hating.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, again, for another pod.
Another pod. Yeah. But
right.
Long story short, not a basketball fan at all. Had a fantastic time watching the game today.
Yeah. Iowa and South Carolina.
Yeah, that was fun.
Caitlin Clark on Iowa and, basically carrying her team on her back. And then South Carolina just being giant.
Yeah.
Bigger than everybody
on
night 1 of WWE.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 40.
Some of you have a future in wrestling. You should look into that.
All right, Tabs, we got to go. Anything you want to give a shout out to or make a plug?
Unfortunately, I don't have a podcast yet. You'll have to help me make that.
I will. I promise.
Soon to come.
Dune
get me No, damn
Dune
it.
Get Me Started.
Dune Get Me Started.
All right. There it is. That's the name of the pod. Dune Get Me Started.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I just want to plug my wonderful, handsome, amazing, super talented, sweet, handsome man of a husband that I have.
Oh, that's nice. I thought you were talking about the dog at first.
Yeah. I mean, Chewy is all of those things and more.
And more.
No, you're just amazing and I love you.
Oh, well, I love you too. Thanks for being on the pod, babe.
Thank you.
All right. That's the podcast. I want to thank my guests, Justin Waters, Jay Watts, and Tabithanos, for coming on this week to talk college hoops, both the men's and the women's, and WrestleMania 40, both the men's and the women's. Some good stuff. Next week, we're probably going to focus on the NBA playoffs, starting just a little over a week and a half. And it's going to be exciting. My Knicks, as injured as they are, crossing my fingers, still going to be able to wreck shop in the Eastern Conference. I'm hoping. I'm still thinking Boston's going to come out of the East and Denver's going to come out of the West. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. Probably going to have Jay Watts and Louis Sayer to talk about it. So until then, thank you for mounting up, Stache Gang. Let's run the theme song. See you next week. I'm out. Peace.